let's talk about the tools in Noteful. You can customize your toolbar by clicking the 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner, and at the bottom, you have the option to customize toolbar. Here's a quick overview of what I have in my toolbar, but I'm going to be going through each tool one by one, starting with the pen tool here at the top. This is what you're going to use to write in your journal, and you can customize the color and the size, and even save your favorites as presets. To change the style of your pen, tap on the one that you currently have selected, and this will bring up a menu for options for the color, the size, and the type of pen it is. If you want to access your favorites, tap on the menu icon in the upper left, and this will show you everything that you have saved. And you can add a new pen by clicking the plus in the upper right-hand corner, then choosing your color with the grid, the wheel, or the eyedropper tool, which allows you to select one of the colors on your page. Then to adjust the style, you'd go to the Style tab and click Custom Style and select any of the options that you'd like. Then when you tap out of that menu, you can see that you have your new custom pen at the bottom here. I believe in the free version of Noteful, the custom pen styles are limited, so if that's something you're interested in, you may need to upgrade. If you'd like to edit one of your pens, tap on it and then go to the menu in the upper left, then find that pen in this list here, click the 3 little dots and click Edit. And here I wanted to specifically show that you can use that eyedropper tool and the color palette page in the journal to create custom pens that use these colors. You can also create custom colors using these hex codes, which I do have listed for my colors in the journal, but you can also find this hex code for any color you can think of online. Once you have that code copied, you can paste it into the field that's to the lower right of that color wheel. You also have the option to increase or decrease the motion smoothing by tapping the pen when it's selected. Okay, now let's move on to the highlighter tool. As you can see down here, I have a bunch of my colors saved as custom highlighters, but you may also notice that unlike my pen tool where I have a little number in the circle, the highlighter doesn't have any of these numbers. And that's because when I created these custom highlighters in the Style tab, I kept the option for custom style toggled off, which means I didn't select a specific size. Instead, when I'm using the highlighter, I tap it again to select my size there. So I can use these colors in multiple sizes without having to create a custom highlighter for each combination. Next up is the eraser tool, which is pretty self-explanatory, but there are some additional options that you can play with by tapping the eraser tool again. Now let's get into the lasso or selection tool. This is what you're going to use to select objects and move them around or resize them or do whatever you need to do to them. You have 2 options for the shape of this tool. With the freeform option, you can draw the exact shape of the space that you want to select. This is great if you're only trying to select specific things so that you can draw around the things that you don't want to select. But mostly I use the square selection tool along with the object selection toggles. For example, if I turn off the shape selection and then draw my selection area, even though the square is included in that selection area, it won't move because I have shape selection toggled off. You can also select a specific object by using your finger to tap it instead. Any of these selection methods will bring up this little menu that has lots of different options for things you can do to or with your object. Next up is the text box tool. With this tool selected, you can tap the screen to add a text box and type anything you'd like. If you have that text box selected, you can see a whole bunch of different options along the bottom of your screen here. This includes things like the font, the text size or style, as well as things like color and text alignment. If you'd like to change your default text style, you can do that by clicking this capital and lowercase a. And after you've created some custom styles, you can select which one you'd like to be your default style. If you'd like your text to match the text in the journal, I recommend the font Courier New in the style Bold. The next tool we're going to be talking about is the Shape tool. In my videos, you'll probably see me use this rectangle shape a lot. And once I've added a shape, I can use these little blue corners to change the shape and size. To change the color, I'm going to select the Style option in this menu. And if you scroll through the color options, you can see that all of the colors of my pens and highlighters are automatically added here. You can also choose a custom color using the wheel, the hex code, the eyedropper tool, or the grid option. This menu also includes options for different fill and border styles. You can choose the thickness of your border here, and I typically set the corner radius to 0 for a nice sharp corner. This is also where you'll adjust how opaque or transparent your shape is. I mentioned before that you can use these little blue corners to adjust the size and shape of your object freely. But if you select resize from this menu, you'll see these white circle corners appear instead. This allows you to do things like rotate your shape, and resize it, keeping the same proportions as your original shape. After the shape tool is the sticker tool, which I'll be making a whole separate video on, but next up is the insert tool. You can use this to add a photo from your camera roll or something from your files, but you can also just copy and paste these things in. I do this a lot for my book covers. And finally, at the bottom, we have our undo and redo buttons, which do exactly what you'd expect. They either undo or redo the previous action. And that's everything that I'm going to be covering in this video, but don't forget to check out my videos about the sticker tool and the page tool up here.